Welcome back for our second hour. As you can see, Sandra's disappeared on us. But look who we have. We have Derrick Carter, pitching coach for North Carolina Western University, and his recruit here, Parker Sherrod, from Rocky Mount Academy. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Derrick, I guess we'll start with you and tell us a little bit about your experience growing up as a pitcher, obviously, since you're now the pitching coach, and your career really started at Northern Nash.
Yes,
right?
sir. I'm from Nash County. Grew up in this area. Went to Northern Nash, played for Leonard Allen and Eddie Losner for my first 2 years of high school. Pitching was always kind of my thing. I tried to hit in high school, could not hit.
At least there's pitching.
Right. So I leaned on pitching pretty heavily and, ended up taking me to college. I went to a JUCO out of high school, Brunswick Community College down near Wilmington. Had 2 good years there. We went to the World Series my freshman year, and then ended up transferring to Wingate from Brunswick.
I did not know you went to Wingate.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was not at Wingate very long, though. I was only at Wingate for about a month, and then ended up finding out I was having my daughter. So I left Wingate, came home. I actually managed Western Sizzling up here on 301.
Okay.
And Coach Clifton ended up getting a job here at Wesleyan. Got in touch with him through a friend of mine, Gates Harrell, actually, and come talk Coach Clifton and ended up playing for Wesleyan for 2 years. Had a great career here. Ended up being pitcher of the year 2 years in a row. And then as soon as my career I was done playing, Coach Clifton offered me a job as a pitching coach. And one thing kind of led to another from there.
Now, Coach Clifton also had the connection back to Northern Nash.
Correct.
Did you know him back then? Or?
So I did not know him when he was actually really at Northern. I met Coach Clifton. I kind of known him somewhat growing up, and then I really met him when he coached me in state games with Landon Roop and Spencer Brickhouse playing with me.
Oh,
yeah.
Some good talent.
We had some dudes on that state games too.
Now, were you coming from the left side?
Yes, sir. I was a left-handed pitcher.
So
my two-seam and the slider were my go-to for sure.
Don't you think you have an advantage when you have coming from the left side?
I
you're
think
going to get more looks, more chances.
Absolutely, I think so. Obviously, the way the game is today, people are so velo-driven. Everybody's so focused on velo, but from the left side, the velo can be obviously a little lower just because lefties usually have that natural movement to it.
Yeah.
And it's a little easier to shape them and get them to get outs because of the way it moves.
Everybody considers lefties to be a little sneaky.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Crafty.
Or you hear somebody say a crafty lefty? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
They can probably just land a breaking ball well, and their fastball probably moves 17, 18 inches across the plate.
Now, do you think you improved during the Northern Nash years, or did you see improvement just going into the JUCO and so forth?
Yes, sir, I did. I think I think at Northern, I definitely honed my craft a little bit, and then heading into Brunswick, I think the biggest thing was I got a lot stronger when I got to Brunswick. The people don't realize how important the weight room is for any athlete, but especially you don't realize it for baseball. How strong you need to have your core and your legs to create the power from the ground up.
And so that's where speed comes from? Where does the speed from miles per hour?
As far as velocity?
Yeah.
I think it really starts in your legs and core for a pitcher. These guys, when we get into the fall, we'll be working out, and it'll be an upper body day. Everybody's excited for upper body day. We get to do our arms and chests, and then we go in there and crush core and do a couple of leg exercises still. They're like, Coach, this isn't an upper body day.
Exactly.
And that's what I always tell them. It's too important not to do it almost every time you go in the weight room. At least some core and some lower body stuff.
What difference did you find between JUCO and Wesleyan?
JUCO is more so everybody's kind of playing, not necessarily for themselves, but more so to move on to another level.
Stepping stone.
Absolutely, it's more of a stepping stone for athletes. And then when you get to this level, the Division III level, it's more so camaraderie, a family atmosphere. Everybody's real together. At least if you want to be good, that's what I've realize that you need is a togetherness between the team.
Yeah, and to you see the teams that really win are the good chemistry teams.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Team chemistry is real, and that me and Coach Clifton, our head coach, preaches it. We preach it all fall and all spring, staying together no matter what adversity comes our way.
Yeah. So Parker Sherrod, the star of Rocky Mount Academy, had great years there at the academy, especially this year, finishing as runner-up in the state. You're a 3-sport star as well.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about where you started playing baseball and how you've moved up.
I started playing baseball at about 3 years old in the Nashville Little League, and I loved it there. My dad was my coach for a little bit, and then we moved to Rocky Mount to play at the complex. I loved that. Played with a lot of guys that play in college baseball, especially in travel ball. Played for the Rocky Mount Rams for about 5 years, and 5 of 11 of us are going to play college baseball. So that's
awesome.
Travel ball get you all that big experience.
Travel ball got me big exposure throughout my years.
Now you played the 4 years at Rocky Mount Academy, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And is baseball your favorite sport, or
yes, sir,
or just because you're the best at it?
It better be, Parker.
Yeah. I'm good at football, and I play basketball, but baseball is definitely my love.
Could they do football? Could they play football and baseball or not?
Yeah, we're not against it. We actually, the kicker for the football team this year, a freshman, he came and played baseball for us in the spring. Actually set the record for longest field goal this year as a freshman.
Oh, yeah, and I was there. I was at
Yes,
that game.
sir.
So, Parker, tell us about the run this year the team had, which was really a strange year because of the field was being redone, and the press box was being put up, and so it started crazy season of away games.
We didn't have a home game until after spring break, so mid-April was our first home game. And,
wow.
And you would think that the team would, not have the right mindset and chemistry for that to start off good, but you guys really did start off well.
It was definitely really tough to get ourselves going and have like a push to want to succeed this year, because we all wanted to play at home, and it was just really bothering us that we couldn't. But me and the guys, especially Jordan Wright, who's also going to play college baseball, we took the team together and we're like, man, we're going to have a home game. We just got to be good in this stretch, because we knew that we had a big shot at making the state championship. And even though we finished second, we had a very good run to get to that point.
And really, before you could get that home game, you had the big game against Faith, that first big night against Faith on that Friday night.
That was a tough game, too.
That was a great game, wasn't it? You got to pitch that game as well.
Got to close that game.
Really a tight ball game, too.
Yeah.
Just what the fans wanted, so forth.
That was a very nerve-wracking game, too, because I had never lost to Faith Christian in my high school career in any sport.
Really?
Wow. That's impressive.
I was not aware of that.
People want to say rivalries, but I love Coach Clifton, but Faith Christian.
Yeah, Coach Clifton's a Faith Christian guy.
So you really took the rivalry as something big?
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, is that the way it really worked?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I know I was a part of it, doing the scoreboard there, but and it is great to have a rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys, Wesleyan's always had it with Fayetteville,
Right,
Fayetteville
Methodist. Yes, sir.
Fayetteville.
Yeah, us and Methodist have been the two dominant teams of this conference for a long, long time now. And, lately, the past few years, it's kind of been William Peace as well.
Well, yeah,
Up and Raleigh.
with
Obviously,
with
with Charlie
Long
Long, yeah.
over there. Charlie coached here at Wesleyan for so long, so that would be hopefully that would be a friendly rivalry.
Correct.
But
yeah,
I'm not sure it's a friendly one down with Methodist stuff.
Yeah.
With Austin down, Coach Austin down.
Coach
here?
Austin down in Fayetteville, man. He's been there. I don't even know. I think it's 30-plus years now.
30+ years,
I'm not 100% sure how many, but he's done a great job down there. Really has.
Is that one a friendly one or not so friendly?
Yeah, it's friendly. One of their assistant coaches, Spencer, we get along great. I don't talk to Coach Austin as much as Coach Clifton does. I talk more so with the assistants. But
how about you guys with Faith? Is it friendly?
It's friendly until it's game time.
But then afterwards, you guys get that out, right?
Afterwards, we're fine.
Because I've seen that you guys have even come to some of the games when you're not playing, and Faith's playing to somebody else, and you guys come mostly probably scouting. But
Yeah, come scout.
anyway, we're going to take our 8:20 break now, and then we'll be back for a second segment with these guys: Derrick Carter, pitching coach at North Carolina Western University, and Parker Sherrod, the latest recruit for Derrick, and we'll talk about the recruiting business when we come back. All right, back with our guest, Derrick Carter, pitching coach at Wesleyan University, and the recruit, Parker Sherrod from Rocky Mount Academy. So, Derrick, tell us the process. Most of our viewers, and even myself, don't know the exact processes, how you guys go about doing your recruiting.
Yeah, so, obviously Twitter has become huge these days. And, a lot of people are like, well, coaches don't actually use Twitter. Well, we have a lot of kids hit us up on Twitter. Especially the past 4 years we've had kind of establishing the program again. A lot of kids will just hit us up on Twitter or shoot us an email. Those are the simple ways, right?
So the kids are actually able to ask to be followed?
So they'll reach out to us, say, hey, here's some video. What do you think about this? Or can we talk more, coach, or whatever it may be. Now, obviously, that's the simple side of it. You find a really good one every once in a while like that. But we'll go to recruiting camps all through the summer, myself and as well as Coach Clifton, our head coach. We have other coaches reach out to us. There's travel organizations, coaches, local high school coaches, of course, will reach out to us, say, hey, we got a guy. Then we go watch. And the process itself is more so either we'll see video, we like the video, we really like the video, we'll go watch the kid in person. We watch him one time, and we really like what we see. We'll call him, get him to come on a visit to his campus, and then maybe go watch him a couple more times before they actually commit, hopefully.
And is there a basic list of what you're looking for, 1, 2, 3?
It obviously depends on from position to position. Outfielders, obviously, we like 60 time to be under 7. Arms are a little bit different as far as the pitching side of things. So, we bring in a ton of guys that start out, kind of lowish to mid 8s as far as velocity, 80 mile an hour. And we're looking for guys that have a ton of potential that we can build on that. So a perfect example is a kid named Dylan Cheeley last year. Kind of saw him through video. He was from Florida, the Tampa area down there. And then he comes in, he's a 6'6" guy, throwing like 85, 86, nothing crazy. Ended up getting up to 93, 95 this year, topping out at 98. So, it's just looking for that potential. And obviously, you got a 6'6" that's not moving great down the mound yet. You can see these little things that you can tweak with him and kind of correct throughout his career. And obviously, building strength is huge as well. I said something about that earlier, the weight room. Guys that are real small, if I see a pitcher throwing mid 8s and he's tiny, a little twig, I'm going to go get that guy probably because he's got a lot more in the tank.
Oh, really?
Yes. Strength is a big part of it for me and when I'm looking at pitchers, as well as hitters too, A guy that's maybe hitting doubles in the gap right now, but not a very strong guy. Obviously, he's got the potential to probably hit some home runs when he gets to college, when he gets a little bit more strength under him.
Now, as a pitching coach, you're also looking at position players?
Yes, sir. Not super heavy. Coach Clifton handles a lot of position guys, but if I go to a camp or I'm somewhere watching kids play and I see a guy that really stands out a little bit, I definitely will go talk to him and kind of try and get him on a visit here. Usually, as far as the recruiting process, man, if we can get them on campus, we usually have a really good shot at them with our facilities over there, and
Sure.
and I think Coach Clifton, just being the person he is, guys kind of gravitate to that as well.
Now, do pitchers that you're looking at have to have the different pitches, or are you guys able to teach pitching?
So I kind of break it down like this. Velo is great, obviously, but velo is something I would say it's easier for me to help a guy gain velo than it is to teach him how to throw a really good breaking ball. So guys with plus breaking balls in high school, they attract me very much.
Okay.
So if I can see a guy that's throwing a really good breaking ball already and he spins it well, then I'm probably going to go after that guy, even if his velo's 82, 84, because like I say, Parker's smiling because he's kind of one of those guys. He's got a really good breaking ball. But velo is something. If these guys are willing to come out here and work and do the things they're supposed to do at the field, they'll see the velo increases. But breaking ball is super tough to teach a guy how to throw a really good high spun breaking ball.
Now, of course, it's easy to follow the local guys such as Parker at Rocky Mount Academy.
Right.
How far out can you guys recruit?
Yeah, so we got guys from Florida all the way up to New York. So we kind of go all the way up and down the eastern shore. We had a guy that came from California. That we didn't go that far recruiting though. He reached out to us. But yeah, we'll go as far as Tennessee west and kind of all up and down the eastern shore.
So it's. I always thought that maybe that if kids tried to get info to the coaches, that they would be less likely to be, picked. Because you figure you'd get everybody trying to get your attention.
And that's the thing. I'd say I'd probably get 50 emails a day from kids, and some of them be like class of 2028s. Obviously, that's a little early for me to start recruiting. But the emails, I will say, Coach Clifton especially, and I try to look at every single one. We do look at pretty much every email. Obviously, if they have video connected to it and it's super easy to watch, then we usually watch the video and kind of say yeah or nah, probably not this kid, not right now.
So how did the recruiting of Parker take place?
Yeah, so Parker. Well, here I'll let Parker tell you. I'd rather Parker tell it from his point of view.
I came to one of the camps they hosted last summer, and that was an experience. But Coach Carter said he liked me, and he said he'd like me to come back on a visit and stuff. So came around, toured campus, and just coming to some of their fall games, like their inter squads, and just seeing like the brotherhood they had here and the influence from the coaches, it just made me fall in love with this place, and I'm grateful for y'all.
So did you reach out to them, or was it a combination of?
It was kind of a combination of the two. I mean, they've probably heard my name because, I'm in Rocky Mount.
Right.
And going to Coach Clifton's former rival school. But I texted Coach Clifton, and Coach Clifton told me to come to this camp, and it just all worked out.
Yeah.
Do you guys teach each other about the fact that he's really from Faith Christian, and you're Rocky Mount Academy?
We did when we first started the recruiting process, but I kind of let it die down a little bit.
So you bring him on campus for
Correct. So he actually came to the prospect camp first. We hold a prospect camp every year. This year it's August 6th. If anybody's watching that wants their grandchild or child to come, August 6th this year. But we saw him at the prospect camp, yeah, and then after the camp I kind of talked to him a little bit, and during the camp, and asked him to come on a visit, like an official visit. Come
so
visit
the prospect
campus.
camp. Anybody can come and
Correct.
Just to showcase in front of you? Or?
Correct. So we have one every year. We'll have a sign-up sheet online. It's under our camps on our website. So you just come. We'll do a skill evaluation of everyone, and then we usually try and play some games at the end, so we can kind of see the pitchers throwing the live batters and everything we need to kind of see.
And so you saw Parker at the camp.
Correct.
And
Yes, sir.
And what do you follow up and make a home visit, or are
Are
those still
no home
to,
visits?
Trying to convince the dad and the mom to. How involved are the mom and dads getting involved in it?
Oh, there's no doubt. The parents definitely have some say-so in it. They don't. Obviously, most parents, they'll leave the ultimate decision up to their child, but one of the biggest things for me is when the parents come on campus, especially on visits. Oh, okay.
If you do have a question, we will take your call if you've got any questions for Coach or for Parker. So the parents?
Yeah, the parents, especially like out-of-town kids, obviously the ones that aren't local, that we kind of know already. One of the biggest things for me is pitching it to the parents, because if the parents aren't happy, usually they're the ones paying for the school, right? So I got to make sure the parents are satisfied and happy and feel comfortable sending their child with us. It's the first time their child's going to be away from home, leaving the nest essentially.
Do you have to meet the parents first, or can you go straight to the
No, I mean,
player?
sometimes every once in a while we'll have a kid come on campus pretty much by himself, or bring his, like bring a girlfriend with him or something like that. But yeah,
So it's not
we
a
don't-
requirement that the parents have to
No,
be
we
contacted
don't have
first.
to have the parents, but it is nice to have the parents on board.
Yeah.
It just makes everything go a lot smoother. Yeah.
So Parker, tell us about this year's big success at Rocky Mount Academy.
First, we won the state championship in football. Like you said, I was a 3-sport athlete, but we started off really hot in baseball season and had I think it was a 15-4 record before getting to the semifinals, which for a minute I thought we were going to lose. We ended up coming back against Greenfield. That's a very tough team to beat. They can hit the ball.
And having to play at Greenfield.
At
too.
Greenfield.
So you got to start in that game.
Yeah, I started off a little slow, but
Nervous or what?
combination of nervousness and just
It's a big semifinal
Yeah.
playoff game.
my senior year, I was in my head thinking I just did not want to go out of this game. I want to make it to the state championship. So I was kind of overthinking things a little bit. But I finally found it in third inning, and the bat started rolling. We came back.
Yeah, because it was a good comeback win and a very tight ending as well.
Yes, it was.
And you made it into the sixth inning.
Sixth and third innings, yes, sir.
How many pitches were? Do you
Yeah,
remember
it
how
was-
many pitches were?
I think it was around 94, 95.
Now, do you like to have them a limit? Is there?
Early on in the year, no doubt, especially when it's pretty cold outside still. It depends on if it's a starter or reliever. Starters, like Cord Butler, our guy that went 12-0 this year, All-American. He threw a couple games where he went over 130 pitches, but that's later in the year when your arms build up for that. Early on in the year, no sir.
So you want them on a strict pitch count?
Early in the year, the first 4 to 5 games, I'm not letting those guys go over 100 very often.
And Coach Ramsey was pretty good at that
Oh, yeah.
too. While I was
Yeah.
watching that and charting that.
Yeah.
And
He was honest.
so the butterflies were flowing in that game,
Yes, sir.
especially when they took the lead early. But really, Rocky Mount Academy came back and did some
Finally.
good job with the bats.
Finally settled.
Some good at bats, and
Oh yeah.
you ended up getting the win. And Jordan got the save.
Yeah.
And I'm going to present you with the game ball. I had the game ball from that game.
Oh, awesome.
Greenfield game. Nobody knew I had it, and for a good reason. There's the game ball for your victory in the semifinal, putting the team into the championship game.
Awesome.
Thanks, sir.
Championship the good thing is championship is always a series now. It's used to be
Yeah.
1 games now.
Yeah.
Now it's a
Didn't help
2 out of
that
3.
much.
But we're probably not going to talk about those games, right?
No, sir.
So what, did you sneak on the field and grab the ball and run off?
Usually on the last out, people don't realize how good that ball really is.
Yeah.
And they'll either toss it up or
Uh-huh.
whatever. And so I'm used to seeing, hey, you better get that ball.
Right.
You'll see now in the pro game at the World Series when that last out is made, they used to chuck it into the stands or something.
Uh-huh.
Now that's going right into the back pocket.
There goes the
So
phone.
we better call in. Let's see if we got a question for our guys. Hello, good morning. You're on the air. Good morning. Hello. They have to stop. You have to mute your TV if you want to ask a question.
Okay, that's fine.
So Derrick, how many local guys do you usually go after?
Depends on the year, depends on the talent around. But one of the things I've always some of the coaches that I've known, as far as the college level, one of the biggest things they say is you got to recruit in your own backyard to be good. So I really believe that. I don't think that other teams in our conference or the Division II schools around here, if there's a good Rocky Mount guys around, then I feel like we should go after them and try our best to get them. We shouldn't let guys go right up under our noses and get good players from this area.
So what will be the procedure for incoming freshmen like Parker coming in?
Yeah, so they'll arrive on campus. We'll give them a few days to kind of get acclimated to being on their own.
Let's see if this is going to be a call. Good morning. You're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
They'll arrive on campus.
Okay.
They probably don't know how to. They're probably trying to do it, but they don't know how to do it. So go ahead. So Parker will come
yeah.
on campus as a freshman.
So he'll arrive on campus. They'll get their living situation straight, everything over there in the dorms. I believe he's going to room with another local guy, Colby Lewis,
Yes, sir.
Nash Central guy.
Who's also going to be on the team.
Correct. He's a right-handed pitcher as well, actually. And then the first week, we'll have a team meeting, and then we'll have a meeting as a pitching staff. And we'll kind of go over what I expect of these guys, and they'll all get their individual folders that have pretty much what their daily routines are going to be on it. And all the folders are very individualized. They're for each player. So these guys are never really doing the same thing, and then they'll kind of break up into groups and come get their individual work in on their own until we kind of start up practice, because we only have a certain amount of practice days allotted to us in the fall.
In the fall, right?
Correct. So, these guys at this level, with the amount of practice days we have, these guys got to do a ton of stuff on their own. Obviously they can come ask me questions, and I can kind of peek at them and watch what they're doing. But I can't work with them like I want to until we can get out there as a team, really. But
And what are the general chances of a freshman coming in and starting his freshman year?
yeah, so we had a shortstop and an outfielder last year that did it. Our center fielder got hurt, and a freshman outfielder had to start out there first part of the year, and then our shortstop all year long was a freshman. We didn't have any arms this year that started as freshmen, just because we had a pretty older
Coming back.
pitching staff coming back. But this year, I don't see it out of the question of 3-4 freshmen pitching for us this year on varsity.
Oh, that would be excellent.
I think we've got some really good talent coming in, and we lost probably 50% of our innings last year between 3 guys.
Well, the earlier those freshmen get their experience, the better off you're going to be on the back end when they become juniors and seniors.
No doubt about it. And Drake Hobgood's actually a perfect example of that. A kid, freshman year, he pitched in a regional here, the one we hosted 2 years ago. Actually gave up a couple home runs against Lynchburg, the team that won the World Series.
Lynchburg won the whole thing.
Correct. But then he came back this year, got a start, first career college start in the regional game, championship game, and pitched really well for us. And I think him having that experience in a regional already as a freshman played a big part of that. But yeah, there's no doubt freshmen are not out of the question as far as we're going to need all the help we can get this year. I think we're going to have a really good team, but I think it's just going to be a little bit of a younger team.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, Parker, good luck to you this year.
Thanks, sir.
So I've seen your career at Rocky Mount Academy, so I guess I'm going to be able to see it at
Good to keep
Wesleyan
watching.
University.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Guys, enjoyed having you on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us on.
We'll take our last commercial break and also our weather break here at the top of the hour. We will finish our show, so come back and watch Sandra finish up.